What's going on, guys? I got a special guest with me here, one of my students, Corey. We've actually been connected on social media for a few years. But Corey, introduce yourself, where you're from, what do you do by background? Tell them a little bit, like a quick 1 minute intro about yourself.
Again, as Danish mentioned, my name's Corey. Currently located in Tampa, Florida. Been in the staffing industry for about the last 5 years or so, and have just recently joined in the Airbnb arbitrage business in November of last year, and joined through Danish's mentorship. So yeah, it's a little bit about me.
For sure. Awesome, man. I guess you were working a professional job before you guys started with Airbnb, right? Like full time.
Yep. Yeah.
How did you why and how did you manage to start an Airbnb business while having a professional job?
I'd say the biggest thing was just honestly being connected to Danish. Obviously, I was working, being able to work my job. I've worked fully remote, so that of course helped. But, once I was connected to Danish, I was able to get business funding through a connection of Danish at the time, Blaze. And that was super beneficial of being able to really get my business going. I was able to get like $78,000 of business funding, which was, allowed me to get into 3 properties initially, and then now I'm trying to scale the business. So, yeah. So I essentially just put my full time position and then just working on the business on the side, and acquiring that funding was a huge reason of how I was able to get started.
For sure. I guess what was your biggest motivation to actually start a business on the side versus being like, hey, let me just keep my 9 to 5, do what I got to do? Like, what was your biggest motivation to actually get started and build a business while you're still working a job?
My biggest goal, I don't want to work a 9 to 5 forever, right? So it's the fact that I have been connected, to you is been very powerful, because I know you have that same entrepreneurial spirit and mindset, and so honestly, once I had we were connected actually through a conference in Miami, when we, I don't know if you had remembered that, but that's actually how I had first met Denise. So and then I was in like a group chat where I one of his group chats, and I think that was more focused on the crypto space. So I've always been looking for like an avenue that I can use, a business that I can use to help fund the type of lifestyle that I want. So when I happened to see you posting about Airbnb arbitrage, I was like, hey, this is sounds kind of interesting. I In my family, I did have some former Airbnb. We actually did some Airbnbs for one of our houses back in the day. So I was familiar with the space, but once I did see that, I was like, hey, I'm more curious about this and the arbitrage, system and type of business. So I was took that leap of faith, and reached out to Danish about joining his mentorship, and yeah, here we are today. So
Sure. Awesome. And well, so cool. You guys started a few months back with your first property. I guess tell them a little bit about where you're at now, right? You started with the mentorship. We took some time. We got you funded, 78,000 on 0% business cards. Tell them where you're at now with like how many properties you have, where are they, and how they're performing now.
yeah, so currently at 3 properties, 2 in Nashville, 1 in Charlotte. um and
And
I was
you live in Tampa, right?
yeah, I'm in
And
Tampa.
and have you ever been to the properties?
I was gonna say, no, I haven't visited a single property. So, I've managed them all remote, and, obviously with your help, I was able to put the right systems, in place. So, again, currently at three units, and, have everything automated. So it's, honestly, at this point, I probably spend 5 hours a week, it really even working on, the managing the business, I would
Yeah.
say. And a lot of that is just with dealing with cleaners and very small issues here or there. I'm going through I guess the seasons. I'm really
Yeah.
learning the business right now. Again, I only started in November is when I launched my first property. So I'm really learning the ropes, the seasonality changes of it, and I have been able to see some profits, especially in January. We gain a huge bit of revenue yet, but I was able to break even. I've been able to pay my rent from the bookings that I have been able to get. And I've been at about 80% occupancy, and some of the properties, one has reached 100% occupancy, and I'm really learning the game and learning the ropes right now. But the bookings are there. We were just reviewing the properties, and I can see the
How do you feel with the first time you actually started the properties versus now, like, being in the game for 3 months? Like, how do you feel now about the business?
see the potential in it. I see the fruits of the labor that have been put into it, which a lot of it's financial resources. So, um, you know, yeah, it's as far as managing it, it's pretty everything's automated, so it's pretty easy as far as that goes, and then it's just kind of taking care of the little bit of headaches that we may have, which is like any business, right? You're going to have to manage and take care of certain things. So confidence is definitely grown as far as not having any units and not you know in the business, right? To at least about 3 months here being in the business.
For
So
sure. So I know you mentioned, like, you had family members that have done Airbnb in the past and stuff. You probably watched YouTube videos and learned about it a little bit before. I guess what made you want to go through the My Mentorship, and of course it was a payment for mentorship, versus just like, hey, let me just figure this out by myself, watch YouTube videos and just get rolling. I guess what made you want to make the commitment to pay for mentorship with me when you guys started?
knowing your type of entrepreneurial mindset, and I mean, I don't even know if we honestly met, at that point, when I had decided to, dive in and take your mentorship. I had been in your Telegram group chat, I believe, and so I had been kind of following your journey, and trying to take some dabbled in the crypto space a little bit, so was trying to like take some knowledge and things there, and then just kind of again following you on social media and seeing you're learning a little bit about you right through social media and things of that sort, and hearing you speak at the conference when we were in Miami a couple years back was something that really gave confidence and wanting to try and branch out and take on this business, and then obviously once I've started to see you have success in it, and watching you and actually learn having success in the business, right, it kind of made me feel comfortable and confident to
Sure.
go along the journey with you and learn from you. So
For sure. Awesome, man. Well, I mean, so you're at 3 properties. How much are you pulling in, like, revenue between the 3 properties right now, roughly?
yeah, between each or
Like, in
total.
total, yeah, in total, like, how much revenue are you roughly pulling in?
So I want to say that I've been doing for the last couple of, at least the last 3 months. I want to say, so this month I believe I'm projected to do 8,000. Um, Last month I did, I want to say it was like 6,500, and then maybe the month before I think it was around like the similar, so 6,500 as well.
But
So
guess what's happening when high season starts, like April, May, June? Like, I know Corey's business because 'cause I've helped him with a lot of all his properties pretty much. But bro, like, your April, like, May, June, July, August, Nashville each will probably make about 4 to 5K revenue. That's like 8 to 10K between those 2, and then Charlie's gonna probably make another 3, 4. So, like, you'll be sitting in high season between your 3 properties between, like, 12 to 15K a month revenue, probably in the range of, like, 4 to 7K profit, which is very solid.
yeah,
That's like, imagine that's like a full-time income while you have those 3 properties. How many hours a week are you probably gonna be working in your business? Like 5?
yeah, I was gonna say I don't know how much it'll,
Yeah,
the
not
output
gonna
will
change too much.
input.
Awesome, man. I mean, tell people, like, that might be watching this, like, do you recommend someone to kind of figure the business out on their own, or would you recommend someone to have, like, a coach or mentor while they're doing this business? Because I tell people there's no real right or wrong answer when it comes to, like, starting a business like this. But from your experience, do you feel like having the guidance and support and mentorship helped you out, or do you feel like, damn, someone could probably just go do everything themselves with this business?
No, it's end of the day, right? I think having someone there to help guide you and that can answer questions, and that has gone through the struggles of a business, right, is always the best option. Just obviously you could go for it, right, and try and and succeed if you don't know what you don't know really. So it's definitely just best to use someone and have that guidance and someone who has achieved success, right? So I know your units are you're bringing in 40K to plus a month, right? So if you really follow the success patterns of somebody else, I think it eliminates so much of the headaches and so much wasted time and effort and money, and and things of that sort. So,
Sure.
you know,
I mean, what's your goals now, bro? Like, I mean, we got, you have 3 properties. You've learned majority of the game. Of course, you're gonna keep learning as you gain more experience. But what do you see your goal as in the next 6, 12 months? Because I always tell people getting started in this business is like, if your vision's only 3 months when you get started, you're in the wrong business. Right now, you've been in the game for a few months. Where do you see yourself taking this? Maybe let's say in the next 6, 12, 18 months.
yeah, I would love to put more properties underneath my belt because that's, and scale the business, right? That's the biggest way that I'm gonna, follow in your footsteps and have success in the actual business. Again, now I understand the foundation of it. I know how to manage, from the Airbnb side and operate it. But yeah, now it's about scaling it. So again, essentially grabbing. I would love to get anywhere between 5 and 10 units, within the next, 12, I'd say 12 to 18 months.
Very possible.
Yeah, more realistic. So,
Yeah, bro, it's
um,
very possible. I mean, like, yeah, bro, if you get 5, 10 properties, each making you 4 to 5K revenue, probably sitting at like 30 to 40K rev, and then should be in the range of like 10K profit, which is it's a real income, bro. And then it's like you're operating remotely. Like it allows, like, I guess for me, the biggest part of like Airbnb is like, yes, there's money in it, there's good money, but I think it's like the freedom that it allows while the money still comes in.
that's
Which is
huge.
job,
Yep.
it's like money's there too in a job, but it's like you're having to use all your effort and time to do it. Whereas this business, you set it up the right way, you put in the initial upfront work, and then it's like now you're making money with very low amounts of effort or time.
Exactly. Yep. That's what we're in this for. So
I
there's
guess
a
what would you recommend someone like just transparency? Of course, we've known each other for a little bit. As your experience, like work with me as a coach and mentor inside of the Airbnb space, like how would you say your experience has been as far as my communication, helping you get properties and everything? Like just a transparency. Like how would you say your experience has been working with me?
Yeah, no, it's been awesome. I'm like, I would definitely recommend you. I've recommended you to a couple of other, of my colleagues that have, expressed interest, right? I'll tell other people that I have, a mentor in you, and, you're someone that is, super responsive, right? And super accessible. I know you're a busy person, you got your own business but again, you've always been there and always been able to easy to reach and somebody that's of course knowledgeable within the game and within the business. So yeah, it's been, I would definitely recommend you again as I already have. So
Sure,
you know,
amazing, bro. I guess to leave them off, man, like someone that's thinking about getting started, because I always tell people the biggest problem with most people is getting started, right? It's taking that leap of faith, whether it's paying for mentorship, even sometimes it's people that pay for mentorship and don't even take action on their first property. I
yeah.
guess from someone looking on the inside out, because everyone has a worry, right? Like, what if it doesn't work out? What if I pay a coach and I get screwed? Like, what would be your recommendation to someone that's maybe thinking about, like, damn, I want to get in this business. I don't know if I should. I don't know if I should hire a mentor. I don't know if I should take action. Like, what would you recommend that kind of person that's like on the fence, but they know what they want to do it? What would you kind of tell them?
Yeah, even just honestly based on my experience, I'm like I had, I believe I had started the mentorship, but I took a little bit of time, to really get going, right? So, I believe, obviously, if you're ready, if you're serious, about doing it, if you meet the requirements, which I would say is just income requirements, things of that sort. I mean, I believe it would be a and again, and you have the desire and you truly want freedom. I'm like, it's not a no brainer, but it's a great business that, I think you can, if you're passionate about it, if you really want to excel in it and really learn it and take the time and they're coachable, then you could genuinely make money with it. So, I just say, obviously ask the questions that, you may have, but, Denish is very, very honest, very, transparent, very real, and he has proven success. So I recommend you to anybody else that is interested in the business and
Sure,
go for
awesome, brother. Well, let's leave them off. Of course, you answered a lot of the stuff. I appreciate you taking your time. Where can people find you if they ever want to ask you questions or anything? Like, where's the best place for people to find you at on
it. Yeah,
Instagram?
yeah. I'm on Instagram, Corey_Crenshaw. Is my name on there, and um, yeah, obviously through Denish here as well. So yeah.
Awesome, guys. Well, I hope you guys got some value from the interview and appreciate you hopping on, Corey.